Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Power of You. This is Nu Vang, and if this is your first time tuning into my podcast, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here with me today. And as you may hear, as I kind of shift around, I am actually recording from the comfort of my bed. Yes, I am someone who does not believe in doing one thing the same way consistently forever. So some days it will be from the bed. Some days it will be me walking around the lake. Some days it will be me with my microphone plugged in and actually sounding a lot more professional, quote unquote professional, right? Better quality, I would say. Yeah, but for me, it doesn't matter the quality in terms of how well put together I sound or, where I am. I think what matters is how true I am, how unapologetically me I am when I am recording. And I just want to really honor where I am right now. And honestly, this past few days has been kind of interesting in terms of energy levels. Like I just got off of my period cycle, and usually according to science and things and research out there, the phase after your period is when you are actually full of energy and you're actually wanting to create and do a lot of things. And for me, I've been trying to become more aware if that's true for me. And I feel like it's not true for me. I feel like my energy stays kind of low, and I don't know if that's just because of what's going on in my life or if that's just how my body is. So that is something that I want to pay closer attention to moving forward. But that's kind of like the backstory as to why I'm on my bed and just being very comfortable. But at the same time, I still want to continue to share and teach and work on my business in some way, shape, or form. And this is the way it's going to be for today. So if you're here, thank you so much. I am excited to share this episode with you. And honestly, I have a few notes here. I rarely have notes, but just something, since I am on a lower energy day, I do want to have something there for me to reference. And so it's all about giving yourself compassion and grace, right? I hope you are able to do that and find that balance for yourself as well. And so today's episode is going to be today's episode is going to be about kind of leadership, self-leadership. And I have been taking a course, or a few courses actually, on leading yourself, leadership, self-leadership, being the one to pave a new path and really standing in your power and being able to be that powerful leader for your own life before you're able to be that for others as well as other leaders. So I really want to share some of that with you here, because I, as a line 2 in human design, I do so much better when I am actually teaching or sharing with you what I have learned. And that really helps. I know this is the case for probably a lot of people as well, but for me, this is the main way, is if I teach it, I'm able to enunciate and really put it in my own words. That is when it will really stick and it will really feel like authentic and true to me, instead of just me learning and listening to my mentor. So for today's podcast episode, I'm just going to give a little bit of an overview of what it means to lead yourself, right? And it does have a few notes here in terms of when we think about leadership. I think we think about someone who's very confident, right? Who's very charismatic, who is going to lead a group of people, and they're at the front and they're leading. And I used to think about it in that way as well, because, like, that's what we see, right? That's what we grow up seeing. And just this concept of she who leads herself, leading yourself, right, is just so new to me, because I do also come from a background, an Asian background that is centered around pleasing other people and making sure the other people are okay, your tribe, right? It's more community based. And so this concept of leading yourself has been so eye-opening for me, and I really want to share it with you, and that's why this episode is here today. And so I want to talk about confidence. And I love how my mentor puts it, that confidence is your relationship to yourself. It's the integrity you have with yourself. It's the words you say to yourself and how you say them to yourself. That confidence, you need to build that confidence with yourself first. And I think that's so true, because a lot of times we think that, if I do something this many times, then I'll be confident in doing it. Or if I just get the confidence to speak on stage, then I'll do it, right? We think that confidence is just gonna come, and we forget that the first step, or not even the first step, maybe the 0 step, right, is the relationship you have with yourself. The internal knowing that no matter what happens, that you will figure it out. You have confidence in yourself, in your potential, in your ability, and you have that loving relationship with yourself, and that creates confidence within yourself before you can use that confidence outwardly, if that makes sense. So I love when I learned about like that confidence, there's like 2 ways you can see confidence. Like, I'm just going to share 2 ways. I'm sure there's more, but there's confidence in what you are doing, right? The actions you're taking, like maybe you're playing sports, maybe you're playing an instrument, right? Stuff like that. That's confidence in what you are doing. And then there's confidence in who you are being. Okay, and I think that second confidence is what we don't think about. That is what we don't really focus on, right? Because it's quote unquote not productive. But being confident in who you are being on a daily basis creates who we are, creates our character, creates and becomes what other people know us to be like when they're around us. So even though we're not technically doing anything, it creates our energetic field, our vibration, our frequency. And I think that is so much more important than just what we're doing, like what we're physically doing. So having the confidence in who you are being, whether that's being kind, being nice, being helpful, being brave, being courageous, right? Those are the qualities that you have when you are just being how you lead yourself every day. And I think that confidence there is where people don't really talk about or don't really think about, is that, yeah, there's confidence in who you are being as well. So I just wanted to also share that piece, because when I see it in that way, it makes me feel so much better that like I can tackle confidence on both ends of the spectrum. I can work on my beingness, and then I can also work on like exactly what I am doing. So like if I'm a coach, so I'm working on coaching and becoming a better coach and cultivating and building on that skill set. And so I'm growing confidence in coaching as well. I'm growing confidence in being kind, being brave, leading myself, and handling hard situations and stuff like that. So those 2, when they come together, I feel like creates such a strong person, and that is really what I aspire to be like. And so yeah, that's a little bit about confidence and how that, can really help you lead yourself. And I would also like to share with you something that is related to confidence too, but it's like when we measure our success, so our success metric, when we measure that in terms of like how many hours you've worked, how much money you make, how often do you have to check your phone, like how busy you are, right? Those are the metrics, and those are more masculine metrics. They're metrics in masculine energy, which is energy that like it's very concrete. It's numbers. You can see it, like it's structured, right? Those are the masculine metrics. And the other side is the feminine metrics, which is basically how you are feeling when you're doing what you're doing. Is it bringing you pleasure, right? That like just blew my mind. So basically, I feel like so far in this episode, I'm like really sharing with you what has been blowing my mind and what I have been learning, because when you think about it, we never were taught to lean into that feminine side and measure our success by how we feel when we're doing it. It's a matter of like, oh, what end result did you get, right? That's very masculine, like that's it. But the feminine side is like, how did you feel while you were doing it? How, like, was it pleasurable? Was it fun? Was it exciting? Or did you just drag your feet throughout the whole thing? Because if you did, then like if you're measuring your success on feminine metrics, then you actually did not succeed. And that was so permission giving to me, because I was like, yeah, like without knowing, I have measured my success according to masculine structured metrics, which is like, I forgive myself for that, obviously, because that's the world we live in. But I just really want to bring out this new paradigm of you and your success is measured by not just the masculine, but by also feminine metrics. It's fine to have masculine metrics, right? If they give you pleasure, and there needs to be a good balance, right? So sometimes we lose our confidence because what we're doing, we don't enjoy. And so it just doesn't feel good when we're doing it. And so it doesn't really make us feel really confident in what we're doing, even though it's creating results. So I love that realization, or that, that's just that distinction of really pulling it apart. Like, what does success really mean? And this is like a new way to see it. It's like, what does success mean to you? Like, are you measuring it by the numbers, by the more masculine side of things? Or are you measuring it by the feminine, your pleasure, how you feel around it? And it's, for me, I think it's really important to have both. But I am leading my business more in the feminine aspect, because the masculine metrics doesn't do me much service. It doesn't really make me feel better. So for my specific business, I run my business on feminine metrics, and that is my success metric. My success metric is if I am feeling good, if I am feeling pleasure, joy from what I am doing, then I know it's right and aligned for me, and I will continue doing so, and I will feel successful, right? I'm not going to base my business success on the money I make, right? How much money I'm making, how much time I'm spent on the computer or on, Telegram with my clients. So I really think that is an important aspect, and you can use this in every other aspect of your life. If you don't run a business, that's fine, but you can also use this as like, if you're a mom, right? Or and you have kids, like, how are you measuring your success as a mom? Like, is it based on how good of a grade your kid gets, or is it on like how much enjoyment you have with your kid when you guys are together, right? Spending time together. Like, really, this can be applied to all areas of your life. And so I really do want you to think about this. Like, what does success mean to you? Like, how does it look like? Like, are you measuring it? How are you measuring it? Is it more the metrics of the feminine or the masculine? And I feel like, I know I have not made an episode on feminine and masculine energies yet, but I think that is definitely something that I do want to eventually do when I feel called to do so. But right now I just really want to share this piece with you. And so yeah, I hope that you enjoyed that. That was kind of like all over the place, like with just some notes that I jotted down that I was like really excited to share with you all. And I hope that you got something out of that, and that mentally stimulated you in some way, shape, or form. And yeah, thanks for being with me on my couch. Oh, not my couch, on my bed, as I just take some time to really honor my energy levels, honor my body, honor my energy, and while still showing up for you. So thank you, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the next episode. All right, bye.